Ooh, the main roster should be glad they don't have a pay-per-view this weekend. Welcome to the Daily Neitz, a daily look at classic films, modern cinema, and the world of professional wrestling. And tonight was NXT TakeOver, The End. Now that title has left a lot of questions. Is this the end of NXT? Is it the end of other something else? I don't know. But no, it's just the end of Balor Joe, which was expected. Considering it's a cage match. But as a whole, freaking amazing show, as they always manage to do. The cat is just yelling. What? Sorry. Just as always, amazing show. Every match was just spectacular. They didn't have anything that went too short or too long, so everything was about as long as it needed to be. The opener with the debut of Cien Andrade Almas and Ty Dillinger was fantastic. I love Ty Dillinger. He's great. He should be in like Tyler Breeze's position before he moved up, I would say. Like that's about where he should be and not like this pay-per-view jobber role he's doing now. But he's great. And Cien is awesome as well. Great moments, great spots. It's really high energy. A lot of fun. Good opener. That's the one match that could have used maybe an extra couple minutes, but otherwise it was a great way to kick the night off. Then we had my favorite match of the night, which is the tag match. The Revival becoming the first ever two-time champions in NXT, and that's any of those titles. So it was a bit of a historical evening as they went over American Alpha. But there were so many near falls in that match, and that's what I love every time those two groups face off. Or even just when the Revival are wrestling anybody, or Alpha's wrestling anybody. But putting them both in the ring, there's just moments where you think the match is over, but it's not. They've mastered that art, and it's been said before, but the Revival are so good at preventing tags, at cutting that ring in half. There wasn't anything crazy like in Dallas when Dash crawled under the ring to pull, I think, Jordan off the apron. There wasn't anything crazy like that tonight, but just a lot of very good wrestling. There was a spot towards the beginning, maybe middle of the match, when it was 4 or 5 synchronized reversals into synchronized ankle locks. Just each team in perfect unison trying to put a move on and the other team reversing back and forth. It was an amazing spot. There's a lot of really good action in that match. Crazy that the Revival won, didn't see that coming. But they've been growing on me a lot, especially since they've lost their titles. Now they have a little bit of personality. I really, really like it. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. I've heard rumors that I've heard people theorize that this means the American Alpha is going to move up to the main roster. I don't think so yet because they have their rematch. I think maybe after SummerSlam, but not quite like this week. But yeah, we should see them on the main roster sooner rather than later, which is good because they're great, and they would do very well on the main roster with the other tag teams up there. Next we had Nakamura Austin Aries. It took a minute for me to get into this one. It took a little bit of time, but once they really started going, it was there. It wasn't as good as his match with Sami Zayn in Dallas, but they had some awesome spots. The dives at the end were crazy. Aries was taking some stupid bumps on barricades and stuff. Just an exciting finish. Back half of that match was better than the front half in my opinion, but I did really enjoy it all the way through. Great stuff. Nakamura still undefeated. I don't know who's going to be the first to beat him, but he can keep that streak rolling as long as he wants to. I'm not going to complain. Then we had the women's title. Asuka retained over Nia Jax. And she's the first, I think she's the first to pin Nia Jax. I think her only other loss was Bayley, and she tapped out to the sleeper hold. So that makes Asuka look crazy strong, and she is. She's nuts. Her kicks are insane. I love watching them. But Nia was also built like a monster tonight. Throwing spine busters and power slams and these big like Brock Lesnar type moves to little tiny crazy kicky Asuka. It's just a really cool matchup. Same one with the match with Bayley in London. It was just a cool matchup. Something different. It's nice to see Nia Jax around because she is so different from every other woman on the roster, and that includes the main roster. So it's really cool seeing that different style come into women's matches. Adds it very dynamic. I want to see pretty much any woman on the roster wrestle Nia Jax because it's different. It's going to be different. So I don't know if she's ever going to hold the NXT women's title. I think she's going to compete for it a bunch and then move up to the main roster and mix things up there, which I would really like to see. And then we had our main event, the cage match with Joe and Finn, and the final chapter of their feud. And I'm not a big fan of cage matches. I prefer the Hell in a Cell variety because I find it weird that you use a cage match to settle these like blood feuds, these feuds that have gone beyond whatever title they're wrestling for. They make them personal. But you can win a cage match just by running away, and that doesn't seem right to me. Like if you want to have it settled and really settled in a grudge match, a cage match situation, don't have the escape clause be a thing. I don't like that. It's the reason why I didn't like that Bret Hart-Owen Hart cage match they had. It was a lot of escaping and then not escaping. They keep trying to run away from each other. That being said, there wasn't too much of that in this match. It was just like when Finn and Owens had their ladder match in Brooklyn last year, where they took a stipulation, a type of match that you see a lot and always seems to be done kind of along the same lines, but like with Finn and Owens, they did it differently. It was probably 10, 15, 20 minutes into that match before they even brought a ladder out, and even then they were using it differently than they use ladders like on the main roster. Same with this match here. They weren't trying to escape. There was maybe one moment where Joe figured it was over and was going to walk out of the cage, and then at the end when Finn tried to climb over. But a lot of it was just using the cage as a weapon, throwing each other into the cage, using it for support to hit moves from a top rope. The top rope sling blade was crazy. I hadn't seen that before. I don't know if he would have been able to have done it as well if he didn't have the cage for balance, like that kind of thing. I really appreciated that, and also aided that second rope muscle buster that ended the match, which was, it looked legitimately painful and dangerous. And I like that. I was expecting to see Finn go for the coup de grace off the top of the cage, but he didn't. He tried to escape, which I appreciate that he was trying to win the match and not just deliver pain, because he knew he's not going to be able to physically outpower Samoa Joe. He's got to get out. And Joe knew, I can physically outpower Finn. I'm going to pin him in the middle of the ring, and that's what he did. And it was an awesome end to an amazing feud. Joe is a monster, and I don't know who can, short of Nakamura, I don't know who can take that title off of him yet, so we're in for a good long title reign with Samoa Joe, which I like. And Finn, the rumors abound. He was painted in Bullet Club colors, which are black and white, which aren't colors. And also the last time he wore just black and white paint was apparently his last match at New Japan, so maybe he's coming up to the main roster, or maybe not. He likes to mess with us, so it'll be real interesting to see what happens. I said before, I think he's going to be the 7th man in Money in the Bank, even though apparently there's not going to be a 7th man anymore, but I still might be right. We'll see. We'll find out in a couple weeks, I guess. That's all I got to say about TakeOver the End. Watch the Breaking Ground special that was on after as well. It's good stuff. I love that show. Check out that show. It's a really good behind-the-scenes look at life at NXT, and seeing everyone's reactions to their call-ups is always fun for me. So yeah, that's what I got for that. Tomorrow is Shawshank Redemption. I know I said that yesterday and forgot about NXT because I'm dumb. So I got that for you tomorrow. Until then, like, share, and subscribe. Comment section below. Tell me your favorite match from the evening if you watched the show. And you can also follow me on Twitter at DailyNeitz. And until tomorrow,